Hello, everyone. Welcome back to A1 English Podcast, the English podcast made for real people, real conversations, and real progress.
I'm Jessica.
And I'm Jack, and we are so happy you're here with us today. Seriously, welcome. Whether you're listening on your commute, at home, or somewhere in between, you made a great choice being here.
You really did, because today's episode is one that I personally think every English learner needs. This is the episode I wish someone had made for me when I was learning.
Oh, absolutely. And before we jump in, quick reminder, if you find this helpful, and I promise you will, please hit that like button and subscribe to A1 English Podcast. We upload brand new episodes every single day to help you improve your English naturally, without stress, without boring grammar books.
Yes, and when you subscribe, you're not just supporting us, you're investing in yourself. Every episode is a step forward in your English journey.
Okay, so today's topic.
Oh, I'm so excited about this one.
All right, let me set the scene. Imagine you're in a conversation, maybe with a coworker, a friend, a teacher, someone you just met, and they ask you a question, and your mind goes blank.
It happens to everyone.
And what do most people say?
I don't know. Every single time.
Exactly. I don't know. 3 words, simple, honest. But here's the problem. When you say I don't know over and over again, you sound unsure, you sound unprepared, and honestly, you sound like you're not very confident in English.
And the worst part? You do know things, you just don't have the right words to express yourself.
Right. So today, we're fixing that. Today's episode is called Stop Saying I Don't Know, 10 Smart Alternatives that Native Speakers Actually Use.
These are real phrases you'll hear in movies, in offices, in coffee shops, in everyday conversations between native speakers.
And by the end of this episode, you'll have 10 new ways to respond, ways that make you sound fluent, confident, and natural.
Not just smarter, more human, because that's what good English sounds like. Human.
Let's do this.
Okay, Jack, before we get into the alternatives, let me ask you something. Why do you think learners rely so heavily on I don't know?
Great question. I think it comes down to 2 things. First, it's one of the first phrases learners learn. You learn it early, it becomes your safety net.
Yes, it's like a comfort blanket.
Exactly. And second, learners often think that if they don't have a perfect answer, they should say nothing, or just, I don't know.
But that's not how native speakers communicate at all.
Not at all. Think about it. When a native speaker doesn't know something, they don't just say, I don't know, and go silent. They fill the space. They buy themselves time. They show their thinking.
They stay in the conversation.
Exactly. And that's what makes them sound fluent. Not that they know everything, but that they know how to stay in the conversation even when they don't.
So today, we're teaching you how to stay in the conversation. No more awkward silence, no more I don't know, and nothing else.
We've got 10 phrases for you. We'll explain each one, show you how to use it, give you real examples, and even point out common mistakes.
Let's start with number 1.
Phrase number 1. That's a good question.
Oh, this one is so useful.
Right? It's short, it's polite, and it buys you a second to think. Native speakers use this all the time, in interviews, in meetings, in casual conversations.
And it has a bonus effect. When you say, that's a good question, the other person feels good. They feel like they said something smart.
Exactly. You're complimenting them while buying yourself time. It's brilliant.
Let's see it in a real situation. Imagine your boss asks you in a meeting, Jack, why do you think our sales dropped last month?
And instead of saying, I don't know, which sounds terrible in a meeting, by the way, you say, that's a good question. Let me think about that for a moment.
Immediately, you sound professional, you sound thoughtful, you don't sound lost.
The mistake people make is they say, that's a good question, and then stop. Don't stop. Follow it with something. Even, let me think, or I'm not sure, but maybe.
Always keep the conversation going. That's the key. Phrase 2, I'm not sure, but I think.
Perfect. Phrase number 2. I'm not sure, but I think.
Now this one is my personal favorite
Tell us why.
because it's honest and it's confident at the same time. You're not pretending to know everything, but you're not giving up either. You're sharing your best guess, and that's completely normal.
Native speakers do this constantly. I'm not sure, but I think the meeting's at 3. I'm not sure, but I think you need to fill out this form.
It shows you're engaged, you're trying, you're not just shutting down.
Okay, let me give you a wrong example. Someone asks, what time does the pharmacy close? And the learner says, I don't know, sorry.
And then awkward silence.
Compare that to, I'm not sure, but I think they close at 7. You might want to check though.
See how much better that sounds? You gave useful information and you are honest that you weren't certain. That's exactly what native speakers do.
The mistake here is using this phrase and then being too long with your guess. Keep it simple. I'm not sure, but I think, short answer.
Great. Now phrase 3, let me think about that.
Simple, effective, and totally natural.
This phrase does something really important. It tells the other person, I'm taking you seriously. I'm not just brushing you off.
And it gives you time to actually think. Imagine someone asks you a deeper question, like, what do you think is the most important quality in a leader?
That's not a question you can answer in 1 second.
Exactly. So instead of panicking and saying, I don't know, you say, let me think about that. I'd say probably honesty, or maybe the ability to listen.
And just like that, you've given a thoughtful, fluent answer.
Even if it's not perfect, it sounds natural, and natural is the goal.
The mistake? People say, let me think about that, and then stay completely silent for 10 seconds. That can feel uncomfortable. Add a small sound, or, well, while you think.
Exactly. Keep the energy alive. All right, let's keep going. Phrase number 4. That's not something I know much about, but...
Oh, this is such an honest and mature phrase.
It is, and it works especially well in professional or semi-formal situations. It shows self-awareness. You know what you know, and you know what you don't know, and you're comfortable saying so.
For example, someone at a dinner party says, what do you think about the new economic policy?
And maybe you don't follow economics closely. Instead of faking it or saying, I don't know, you say, that's not something I know much about, but from what I've heard, it seems like a big change.
You stayed in the conversation, you contributed, you didn't pretend to be an expert. That is intelligent communication.
The mistake people make with this one, they use it to completely escape the conversation. That's not something I know much about. Full stop. Nothing else.
Don't do that. Always add but and give something, even a small thought, even a question back.
Which brings us perfectly to phrase number 5. What do you think?
Oh, this one is genius.
Right? You flip the question. Instead of struggling to answer, you turn it into a two-way conversation.
Native speakers do this so naturally. It doesn't sound like you're avoiding, it sounds like you're curious about their opinion.
Example, someone asks, do you think working from home is better or worse for productivity?
And you say, it's an interesting one. I have some thoughts, but what do you think? I'm curious.
Suddenly, you're the curious, engaged one, and they're happy to share. And while they talk, you have time to gather your own thoughts.
This is a skill, not a trick. Real conversation is about curiosity and exchange, not just performing answers.
Completely agree. The only mistake to avoid, don't only use what do you think without ever answering yourself. People will notice. Use it to start a discussion, then come back with your own view.
Good point. Okay, phrase number 6, and I love this one. I'd have to look that up.
This is so underused by learners and so common among native speakers.
It's direct, honest, and it actually makes you sound responsible. Like, I care enough about accuracy that I won't just guess.
Perfect for facts, figures, dates, technical information. Someone asks, "What's the population of Tokyo?"
You say, honestly, I'd have to look that up. I know it's one of the biggest cities in the world, but I don't want to give you the wrong number.
That sounds incredibly natural and incredibly intelligent.
The mistake saying I'd have to look that up for every single question. If you use it too much, people think you know nothing at all. Use it specifically for factual information, not for opinions or feelings.
Great distinction.
Okay, we're in the home stretch. Phrase number 7. It's on the tip of my tongue.
Oh, this is a fantastic idiom, and it's one that makes you sound very natural immediately.
It means you know the answer, you've heard it before, but right now you can't quite remember it.
Like when someone asks you the name of an actor, and you're like, "Oh, I know this, but it won't come."
Exactly. In that moment, instead of I don't know, you say, oh gosh, it's on the tip of my tongue. Give me a second.
And people relate immediately. Everyone has experienced that feeling.
It creates connection. It's human and real.
The mistake, don't use this when you genuinely have no idea. If you've never heard of something, don't say, "It's on the tip of my tongue." That would be dishonest and confusing.
Use it only when you do know something but can't quite recall it in the moment, okay?
Perfect. Moving on, phrase number 8. That depends on.
Now, this one is what separates intermediate speakers from advanced speakers.
Completely agree, because that depends on shows nuanced thinking. It shows you understand that not everything has a simple answer.
And guess what? Most real questions don't have simple answers.
Exactly. Someone asks, "Is it better to study in the morning or at night?"
A basic response, I don't know, maybe morning?
An advanced response, "That depends on the person, honestly. Some people think better early in the morning. Others do their best work late at night. It really depends on your own rhythm."
See how that sounds? Thoughtful, developed, natural.
You didn't know the right answer because there isn't one, and you said so smartly.
The mistake here is starting with that depends on and then not finishing the sentence. Always tell them what it depends on.
Great. And phrase number 9, this one is very practical. I'm not the best person to ask about that, but
This is professional English at its best.
it's used when someone asks you something that's really outside your area, like if you're a marketing person and someone asks you a legal question.
You say, I'm not the best person to ask about that. You'd probably want to speak to someone in the legal team. But from my understanding, I think the basic idea is
You redirected, you were honest, and you still contributed.
that is the behavior of a confident, mature English speaker.
The mistake? Using this to completely avoid any effort. Always follow it with something helpful, either a suggestion of who to ask or a small piece of what you do know.
Okay, Jack, the final one, number 10. Save the best for last?
Absolutely. Phrase number 10, I haven't thought about it that way before, but
Ah, this is beautiful.
this phrase is magical because it tells the other person their question surprised you in a good way. It shows open-mindedness. It shows you're genuinely engaging.
Example, someone asks you a deep question like, do you think technology makes people more lonely or less lonely?
And instead of, "I don't know," you say, "Wow, I haven't thought about it that way before, but I think maybe both." It connects people across distance, but maybe creates distance between people who are right next to each other.
That is a beautiful answer, and it all started with that one phrase.
The phrase didn't give you the answer, but it opened the door for you to find one.
And that's really the point of all 10 of these phrases. They open doors, they keep conversations alive.
All right, let's put it all together. Quick review. Everyone ready?
Ready.
1. That's a good question.
2, I'm not sure, but I think.
3. Let me think about that.
4, that's not something I know much about, but.
5. What do you think?
6, I'd have to look that up.
7. It's on the tip of my tongue.
8, that depends on.
9. I'm not the best person to ask, but...
And 10. I haven't thought about it that way before, but...
10 phrases, 10 ways to stay in the conversation, 10 ways to sound like a native speaker.
Now, before we wrap up, let's quickly touch on the 3 biggest mistakes people make when trying to use these phrases.
Mistake 1, they learn the phrase but don't finish their thought. They say, "That's a good question," and then go silent. Always follow through. The phrase is the bridge. You still have to walk across it.
Mistake 2, they use the same phrase every single time. If every answer starts with, "That's a good question," people start to notice. Mix them up. Use different phrases for different situations.
Mistake 3, they use these phrases but with very flat, nervous energy. The phrase works because of how you say it. Say it with calm confidence. Even a small smile in your voice makes a big difference.
Practice these at home. Say them out loud. Record yourself. Get comfortable with how they feel in your mouth.
Because when a real conversation comes, and it will, you want these phrases to come out automatically.
Not because you memorized them, but because you've practiced them enough that they feel natural.
All right, everyone, let's bring it home.
Today, we learned that "I don't know" is not the enemy, but it is a habit we can upgrade.
We gave you 10 real, natural alternatives that native speakers use every single day.
From "That's a good question" to "I haven't thought about it that way before," each phrase keeps you in the conversation, keeps you sounding confident, and helps you communicate like a real English speaker.
Remember, fluency isn't about knowing every word. It's about knowing how to keep going when you don't.
That's wisdom. That's real English.
So this week, I want you to pick just 2 phrases from today's list, just 2, and try to use them in a real conversation, at work, with a friend, anywhere.
And then come back and listen to this episode again, because the second time you hear something, it lands deeper.
If this episode helped you today, and I really hope it did, please give it a like. It takes 1 second, and it helps us reach more learners around the world.
And if you're not subscribed to A1 English Podcast yet, please do it now. We are here every single day with new episodes, new phrases, new conversations, all to help your English grow.
Thank you so much for spending this time with us, truly.
You showed up for yourself today. That matters.
Keep practicing, keep going, keep believing in yourself.
Bye, everyone.
See you in the next episode.